Evil genius. All right, you guys, turn the volume up and get ready. It's time for the Cave Sports. I'm your host, Anastasia, and I am joined each week to talk football and social topics with the greatest co-host. Well, I stay on the island of Hawaii, but I'm just going to say the greatest co-host today, the evil genius, Mr. Pepper.
I'm the greatest co-host on the planet, just period. Like, if anybody needs a co-host for anything, yeah. You need a co-host for your bar mitzvah. You need a co-host to go buy a car. You need a co-host to propose to your girlfriend. You want to call Pepper, I'll be there. I got you.
First, if you need a co-host to propose, you don't need to be proposing.
Nah, it'd be fun.
I'm going to need you to be able to handle that on your own.
Like a tag team event. Like, all right, I'm fumbling and starting to cry. All right, tag me, dog. All right, I got you, dog.
That's terrifying. Okay. Wow. Well, as always, we're going to go ahead and cover hot topics in sports entertainment, but also make sure that you just have everything you need before kickoff each Thursday evening. We are going to tackle the top 10 power rankings. We're going to talk about maybe some roster lineup changes. Obviously, we saw a trade happen. That is a pretty big deal. And, of course, our upset and sure thing pick of the week. And if we have some time, we might talk about our couch coach moment. But, of course, we're always going to give you our cave conquering moment and our WTF moment of the week. So we had a great week of football. I want to make sure that you guys, before we get started, catch us first off every Thursday morning, and then make sure to follow us for updates. You can catch us on Facebook and Instagram at The Cave Sports, and you can download our podcast on iTunes, Spotify, and of course Google Play. And we've got some awesome things in the work to be able to provide it for you guys on YouTube soon, so look out for that.
Definitely. We're awesome. Yes, it's Cave Sports Podcast. And we put our picks up every week. We put our Thursday games and our upset specials every week. So we own it this year. We own it. At least I'm on it this year. Let's just put it like that. Anastasia's always been on it. I just finally got my life together, so I'm on it too. Watch out.
I see the difference.
Yes.
You were definitely on it this year. I can't complain. Well, we're going to start off by picking our upset of the week. I guess if we wanted to just slide in a couch coach moment right here, I took the Colts over Washington as my upset of the week, and I was victorious.
Yeah, and last week, I believe for mine, I take Seahawks as the upset.
I think you were wrong. Whatever you took was wrong. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the Seahawks.
I was wrong. Hang on, let's look at the footage. By the way, Anastasia tried to yell at me I took Seahawks. It was wrong. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was wrong. It's okay. I'll be all right because I was right on the Thursday game. We talked crap
all weekend too.
Yeah, I was on for the Thursday game and you were off for the Thursday game. So
you were.
So we're even. It's all right.
I feel like that doesn't really count though because you really only picked that team because it's your team.
No,
it's like me choosing the Broncos. You know.
Yeah, except the fact that I was right on several levels with that team. I told y'all that Baltimore was overrated and they shouldn't have been in the top 10.
Well, you'll be irritated when you hear the top 10.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm irritated, definitely.
Okay, so this week, who do you have, Pepper, as your upset of the week?
Upset of the week, I got Tampa Bay over Pittsburgh.
Do you think that's an upset?
At this point of the year, no. But they still got Pittsburgh winning by 2 or 1.5 over Tampa Bay. And I'm like, Are y'all dumb or blind? Have y'all not seen the dysfunctionality of the Steelers this year? But everyone just believes in, it's the Steelers and Mike Tomlin has the beard and their old coach used to have the jaw, and the ghost of Jerome Bettis is going to come back out of nowhere. And it's like, shut up, man. They suck. They're going to lose.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Tampa Bay wins that game, so I don't even think it's like an upset. I just wouldn't be surprised. I'm kind of surprised that actually Pittsburgh, the way they're looking, in my opinion, is highly suspect. And I wouldn't put them in that position anyway. So I think for me, I'm actually going to go with the Giants over Houston. I know everyone's like, what? But I'm just not convinced about Houston, and I'm not 6-point spread convinced. And I think, like, for Eli, even though he hasn't been the most consistent, he still won 2 Super Bowls. So I feel like you have, is there not the highest paid receiver on their team? Is Odell Beckham not the highest paid in the league receiver?
Yeah, he is.
Okay. And then we have Saquon Barkley. So a 6-point spread is pushing it for me. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Giants over Houston. I don't think so.
That's fair. That is very. I've got no argument with you here on that. I still think the Giants are going to lose.
Yeah,
but,
I could see them losing, but the 6 just seems. I don't know. I just don't feel like Watson is all the way back yet. Yeah. Which is another reason why I will not be betting anything regarding the Texans.
That's fair.
Like, if I had to choose them, I can't bet on them right now.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, since you disagree with my Tampa Bay being on the being an upset.
Disagree. I just said it's like a 3-point spread. I mean, come on.
Yeah. ESPN is showing less than a 3-point spread, but I'll go ahead and nix it from the record, and I'll go with your team, the Broncos.
Oh,
I'll go with your team, the Broncos. Broncos, to further prove my points from last week, they got Baltimore at -5 on the Broncos.
Right. I agree. That's a sham.
Nah, son.
It's a sham. I don't believe it either. And Flacco, it all comes down for me to Flacco. I don't care what anybody says. That dude, if he didn't have such a high salary, he would be cut. They would cut him.
He plays during salary times, and so he's actually had a pretty good season. Even in their blowout loss last week, not really a blowout loss. Even in their gotten handled loss last week, he still shows some great stats. But they not beating the Broncos. I just have a serious
problem with him.
Yeah, that's fair. But they not beating the Broncos by 5. They not even beating the Broncos. So
I like how you think. I would love to be 3-0. 3-0 feels even better than 2-0.
Yeah.
So fair enough. Well, hopefully you listeners will go ahead and let us know who your picks are. So please feel free to follow us on Facebook or Instagram. And when you see us post our picks of the week, make sure to tag yours on there so we can kind of see where you guys are at and if we're on the same page. But it looks like this week I'm going to go with, I forgot what game I picked. Help me.
Already you forgot. You're going with the Giants.
I took the Giants over Houston. It was a brain fart. And you're going to take Denver over Baltimore, which I'm totally okay with.
Yeah.
All right. So I took a look at the power rankings this week, 1 to 10. I'm still irritated that the Broncos are ranked at number 18 and they are undefeated. And I'm sorry, but I just think if you're undefeated, considering there's only 4 of the 10 in the top 10 that are undefeated, you should be a little bit closer to the top 10.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're undefeated and you're ranked 18. That's just, especially the way the officiating went this past week, for them to still win that game. That's just baffling to me.
Are my eyes deceiving me? Did the Panthers move up in a loss?
Yes. Correct.
What?
So you lose, and you are ranked number 10. So let me read these off for you guys so you can understand why Pepper is so baffled right now, because I was just as baffled when I put this power ranking list together. Keep in mind, this is NFL.com's list. So I pull it from there every single week. There may be other outlets that have different ones, but I like to keep it consistent so we have something to measure it by. But they have the Rams at 1, they have the Jags at 2, Vikings at 3, Chiefs at 4, Packers at 5, and then the bottom 5 are Patriots at 6, the Bucks at 7, the Eagles at 8, the Falcons at 9, and then the Panthers at 10. The top 2 I think are warranted. They are both undefeated teams. The Vikings, I feel okay with that because they had a kicker that missed 3 field goals. They should have won that game.
They should have hired a better kicker. The Vikings shouldn't be 3.
but you could throw a different kicker in there, and then the result would have been different. So I'm okay with that. The Chiefs are exactly where they should be at. Honestly, they might be able to bump up to 3 just because of the performances I've seen. But I think people are still feeling suspect about Mahomes, even though he's fantastic. I'm pretty sure Trevor Siemian, was it last season or the season before, where he had like 10 touchdowns in like the first two or three games of the season, something kind of similar to what Mahomes has done.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, "Woo, Simeon," and then it was all downhill from there. So I think they're kind of waiting for that moment to happen, because we've seen this happen before, where a quarterback will come out the gate just on fire, and then all of a sudden you're starting to see all the deficiencies. So I think that's why they kind of have the Chiefs at 4.
I don't feel like Simeon had the weapons that my man's got, though.
Well, I mean, Casey is not void of weapons.
Yeah.
I know, because Hill is on my fantasy team, and I'm loving his weaponry. And he wasn't even totally utilized. I think he only had 1 touchdown this week, and Patrick threw for 6. So if that tells you anything. Travis Kelce. Yep. I mean, this man literally has, like, I don't even want to talk about it. He has Hunt, Kelce, and Hill.
Yep.
On one squad.
Yep.
It's not fair. I'm waiting for there to be like a whole photo shoot surrounding that, because those 3, I mean, that's a trio. If I have ever seen one, I mean, actually, I'm in trio now. If you throw Patrick in there,
yeah, that's they've got a Super Bowl winning offense.
Like the 4 tops.
Yeah, they have a Super Bowl capable winning offense right now.
They do. So they're at 4. I'm good about that. The Packers are going to be at 5. If Aaron Rodgers can stay healthy, I don't see a reason that wouldn't happen. The Patriots are at 6, and they just added Josh Gordon. So that's just something to kind of keep in mind. They just had the trade with Cleveland. I think that atmosphere, if he can absorb that, and his goal is to be the best form of himself, he will be highly successful there.
Yeah, of course he could be highly successful.
That's the key, though. If he's ready to be the highest form of himself,
exactly,
he could be going into the best situation of his career. I mean, they literally handed him a golden ticket.
Yeah, but that doesn't always work for everybody. Who was that receiver for the Cardinals? Who's that receiver for the Cardinals like 2 years ago who got a DUI? They cut him. And they were like, "Oh, well, he's at the Patriots now. He'll get his life together."
What was his name? Oh man, I know you're talking about. But I don't think that guy. We weren't really looking at him. No, we weren't really looking at him as uber talent. And that's what I'm saying. I think if I don't know what's been happening for Josh Gordon currently now in Cleveland. I don't know if he's been able to clean his act up to the point where they're like, this isn't about his off-field behavior. This just isn't working in our system. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
No, it was just,
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, from what everything that I saw, it was he went out to do a commercial for something that wasn't with the team, and like pulled his hamstring doing some shit in a commercial. And they were like, "All right, look, no, we can't do this no more. we don't give you 715 chances, and this 716, you got to go. I'm sorry." So that's what happens when you're trying to change the culture of a locker room and change the culture of a franchise that's been shitty this whole time. So.
Well, you could already see the changes in Cleveland, and I mean, they should have won those last 2 games. So it kind of, it's just like, they were right there. So I could see if they're at a position now where they're like, we don't have room for distractions, and you are a distraction, and we don't have the energy or the bandwidth to fix you. We have enough personalities in the room.
Yeah, the Browns were just out of bandwidth. That's a great analogy, and they had to close a tab.
The Patriots have the bandwidth because they have no solid receiving core, and they don't have a choice but to have the bandwidth at this point.
Yep.
They have to invest. And then they have the Buccaneers at 7. I don't know how I'm feeling about Fitzpatrick dressing in a tracksuit. Like he just came off like a breakdance movie from the 80s. And after playing 2 games, now all of a sudden he can wear costumes and make a fool.
So you're not digging the Conor McGregor feel of Fitz Magic right now is what they're calling him.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm like, sir, you haven't had enough to like back this up yet. Like other teams were getting rid of you. You were a backup. And the only reason you technically got the start was because that dummy Jameis Winston doesn't know how to act right. Otherwise, you still would have been on a bench.
Yeah,
it reminds me a lot of Nick Foles. It's like they have like really great moments, and if you catch them at the right moment, they'll be amazing. But they always get exposed. So 2 games isn't enough for you to be dressing up. I need you to be a little bit more humble in your moment right now. I don't like it. I don't like how it feels.
I think Fitzpatrick is one of those NFL QBs that has kind of gotten a raw deal. We normally see this with black quarterbacks a lot, where they'll play good, and then as soon as they play all right, they get the yank and be shipped off somewhere. And now he's coming out with swag. I mean, he admitted it wasn't his outfit; it was Deshaun Jackson stuff, and he was just like, "Hey, you got all them yards, you got to go shine for a little bit." You could tell it wasn't like fully his personality, but he was out there having a little fun with it because he's taking over another team. So I'm cool with it. I have liked Fitzpatrick's game in the past more than you have. And yeah, he gets moved around. He got moved around last time because he had that, hey, I'm balling for y'all. Can I get some money? And they was just like, nah, we're the Jets. Yeah, we're like, yeah, we're the Jets.
And the Jets don't. That's true, because the Jets are not really paying for quarterbacks. And that is fair.
Yeah.
To say, but I don't know. I just wanted to be maybe a little bit more humble in the moment, because it wasn't his team, and I don't know. It just rubs me the wrong way. It just rubs me the wrong way.
To use an analogy that maybe be inappropriate. Look, he took Jameis Winston's lunch money and then kicked his ball over the fence in these first 2 games.
Well, you can't really say that because Jameis wasn't even there to defend his own lunch money.
No, that's his fault then.
It's like when a soldier goes away to war. It's like when you get deployed as a soldier and you come back and your girlfriend's 4 months pregnant. Or your wife is 4 months pregnant. That's basically what I equate it to.
Nah, because the soldier was out doing something honorable. Jameis Winston was trying to bang Uber driver chicks when he should have had his ass at home.
Well, not now. Some deployment guys, and I've known some, they were still doing dirt themselves. But they still came home to a kid that wasn't theirs.
There's nothing to do. Yeah.
I'm just saying. Yeah. It's kind of reminding me of that.
Yeah, but that locker room is done, though. I mean, that locker room is now Fitzpatrick's. Let's be real.
And that's very true. I'm not denying that. I'm just not a fan. Either way it goes, he got to 7. The Eagles obviously dropped, and then the Falcons and the Panthers round up the top 10. The Panthers, I'm sorry, do not need to be in the top 10, and I just don't understand that.
How do you lose and move up? They were not in the top 10 last week. They lost and moved up. You're just going to ignore the Broncos. You're just going to ignore the Bengals. Right. There's some other 2-0
teams, and the only top 10 teams that are undefeated are the Rams, the Jags, the Chiefs, and the Bucks. All the rest of them have lost a game.
Yeah, or tied a game.
Same thing. You lost. You didn't win.
Yeah,
exactly. Ain't no consolation prizes.
Let's jump.
So I don't know. I'm kind of curious as to how the listeners feel, but you should definitely send us a DM about it.
Anastasia feels like her Broncos should be at 10, 11. I told you last week my Bengals should have been
12.
In there. I told you last week my Bengals should have been in there because they was gonna beat the brakes off of Baltimore, and they did. And Baltimore left, but the Panthers move up. Let's jump.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. Just looking real suspect to me. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not a fan of that.
For the record,
it doesn't
I'm not
make
a fan.
Sense to me.
for the record, I'm not a fan of NFL.com, period. A few years ago, I tried to use their NFL.com fantasy football site. And if you are
Mm.
the NFL, but you have the absolute worst fantasy football site out of all the fantasy football sites, you should be embarrassed.
Yeah, ESPN's pretty bad too, but
ESPN
I would
is
say
nowhere
NFL is the
near as
worst.
bad as NFL.com. Your
Yeah,
name is on the
NFL.com's
deal,
pretty
and you
bad.
can't get your own shit right. That is
They're
sad.
pretty bad.
It's your product. It's your product, and you can't get it right. Nah.
They're too cheap to pay for the engineers and the programmers needed to make it happen.
Yeah, basically.
Well, yeah, that's the top 10 of the week. So, like I said, I'd love to hear your guys' opinions. Make sure that you, like I said, jump on our Facebook or Instagram and let us know who are your top 10 picks. Top five looked pretty decent, but that bottom five is suspect to me. I will. We will skip fantasy sit and start. Moving along.
She on that dust.
Oh, oh my God! If the listeners only knew, because you won't hear what I've cut out of this show, but if I was a individual that partook in getting high all the time, have been very high during this show. That's how my I seem very high because I'm not on it.
Anastasia sniffing that glue.
And I'm always on it. So when I'm not on it, it definitely shows. I have had a stressful week at work, though. I will not lie. They have pushed me to the end of the rope. So that could be why.
They testing you. It's going crazy.
They're testing me, but it's okay. I'm a bank, so I'll figure it out.
Work it out.
Anywho, maybe I'm going to talk about something fun now for the topic of the day.
Woohoo.
I wanted to talk about Vontae Davis, and it's obviously been on every single channel, people talking about this, and I had to talk about it because it was so comical but so infuriating at the same time. So Vontae Davis of the Bills literally walked out at halftime, didn't tell anybody where he was going, packed up all his stuff, and retired. Did not come back into the game. And then he's a two-time Pro Bowler, I believe. What is he? 9 or 10 years in the league? Maybe 10 years in the league. Two-time Pro Bowler. His brother is Vernon Davis. But he literally walked out. And then his statement, he posted on Instagram as if he were an Instagram model or a reality star. That's where he released his statement at. Never mind, he had said nothing to his teammates or anybody else. They found out just like basically the rest of us did as to why he did what he did. So they were told he walked out and he's retiring. And then they found out why he did that with the rest of us. These players that put their own lives on the line to try to put food on the table for their families. Their whole careers are wrapped up into this. He quit on his team at halftime and didn't even have the balls to tell him why he did it.
Yep. That's pretty sad.
You were a football player at one point, Pepper. So how would you feel if you were in that position and you had a teammate walk out like that?
How I would feel if I was still in my football days, I'd be completely irate. You have personal relationships with your teammates. Maybe not all super close. Not everybody's, all super buddy tight, whatnot. But you're still a team, and I would be pissed. I'd like to think I'm a compassionate person, and I would probably want to go check on his mental health, and be like, dude, like you okay? And then I could see one of his teammates beating his ass after that, after they check on his mental stability. And then being
somebody was on, what was he on? Somebody was on with Victor. Oh, they were on First Take with Victor Cruz. I forget the player that was on there, and they asked his opinion about it. And I mean, he seemed very emotional. Like his reaction was very visceral, very emotional about it. And he was talking about we put our lives in line. This is how we make our living, how we take care of our families. And, we're supposed to have each other's backs as teammates. And for you to do something like that. And, I'm assuming he had some personal relationships with some of those players beyond the field. Yep. And for him to walk out like that is just really?
Yeah, from a locker room standpoint, it's okay. Your mental health is good. Now it's an ass beating. That is very normal. It's very normal to have that feeling. As an outsider now, completely, I ain't touched a football in 20 years. I ain't even been in a locker room in 20 years and that kind of deal, and was never at the level of these guys. As an outsider now, just sports fan, just chilling, looking at this dysfunctionality of the Bills, I'd have to laugh. Yeah. I'm just straight up be like, yeah.
Because it would happen to the Bills, right?
I mean, because you like at the same time, I bet if they pulled Victor Cruz aside or dug a little deeper or done some other deals, or you ask any of these ex NFL player commentary guys that are up there, I guarantee you to a man that they will all admit that they've seen a player quit at halftime. Now
Right.
they might not have retired and walked out of the building and packed their bags and took a shower, but I guarantee you
Right.
to a man they have all seen somebody quit at halftime.
Right. I'm sure. And I'm not even surprised about that. I just think the way he handled it. And I don't know if I ever remember Vontae being the type of person that was like an attention whore like that. I mean,
Yeah,
I never
no.
really heard stories like that about him. So I guess, I mean, I've heard about his brother before him. So
Yeah, and that's why I say like it's
it's a little
like
confusing.
they need to really like check on his mental state, like what's
Yeah.
going on. What's going on outside of life? Did his baby mama just leave and he was just like, the world is upside down. I gotta go.
Right. Remember the player in Kansas City? What was that guy's name that went up, shot himself, did he shoot his girlfriend too?
Yeah.
Wasn't she
Yeah.
pregnant?
Yep.
And the coach was there, like, I mean, do we want another situation like that? I don't know.
Yeah. That's some.
Maybe he felt he was at that point, but I don't know, it was very disrespectful, and I think all of us were kind of like, what? When it happened, so I don't know. Definitely, I'm sure a lot of locker rooms were discussing that one,
Yep.
and we'll continue to discuss it. It's just kind of a interesting way to go for somebody that talented. I mean, it wasn't like he was a bum.
Yeah. Very true.
And you got to give money back when you do stuff like that.
and that's the thing. It's just like, okay, let's, in all honesty, he's probably on his last contract.
Right.
But like, maybe he's set. Maybe you know what? Maybe he is an Instagram model now. Maybe he got
Who
some
knows?
other deal that's just like, it's like it is over for me.
It's the thing to do
But-
now.
Yeah.
It's the thing to
I
do.
don't know. I said there was a lot
No,
of
I thought that was interesting.
wackiness. There was a lot of wackiness this past week. I was highly disappointed in some of my picks being up and supposedly handling business, and then they just quit in the fourth quarter.
Right.
So
Tell me who won last week, because I mean I honestly did not check it.
you got me by
how
one.
how did we do?
We both improved. We both improved by a little bit. We both improved by a couple of games, and you got me by
Okay.
one again.
Okay.
So
So I'm winning.
you're winning, but you're not winning you're winning the overall, but you're not winning the, what is it? Dang on the
Thursday
upset
night
special.
pick?
The Thursday nights and the upset specials, you're not winning. I'm up
Well,
by
the
one on
upset
that.
special, I picked it.
Yeah, that's the only thing you've gotten right so far this year. It was your
What
one.
did you pick? What was your upset? What was your upset?
your
Because I'm pretty
one
sure you lost last
upset?
week. So how could you possibly
Yeah,
be up an upset special?
Oh, you're right. We're tied. I just pulled a U.
Correct.
I just
Yeah.
pulled a U.
Okay. Is that what we're calling it? Okay.
I just
Man,
pulled
please.
a U. Yeah. Oh
Now
yeah.
I'm watching.
So
What, you're talking about watching me? No, I'll be watching him.
I didn't lose. Yep.
Oh man. All right. Fair enough. Well, we're getting to a really fun part of our, I guess, show. It's towards the end of our show,
Yep.
and we're gonna start with the cave conquering moment.
Get it.
Girls, we run this mother. Yeah. Girls, we
Cave conquering moment of the week.
girls, we run this mother. Yeah. Girls, we run this mother.
All right, you guys. So my cave conquering moment this week is going to be for male cheerleaders on the field. So this is the first year ever that there have been actual male cheerleaders. I know a lot of amazing male dancers. Only thing that bothered me though is like I watched the New Orleans Saints performer, and he didn't have pom poms like the rest of the cheerleaders did. So for me, it's like if you're gonna do it, you need to do it all the way. Like I don't need you to have the same outfit as them, but like you're throwing me off with the dynamics of the team when you don't have all the stuff they got.
I don't know, man.
So
Dude,
you're the only one out there with no pom poms.
Do the dudes on the college games have pom poms?
But well, when they do that though, there's not just one of them.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
there's
There's
like
like the male cheerleaders have there's a team of them, and they have
there's
like
a
a
group.
totally different routine than
Yeah,
the women do. So it's not the same. You know, they have like the what are those the not the bullhorns, but the I don't know what
the
those things are called.
megaphones, and then they do the
Megaphone, yeah.
stunts. Yeah, they do the
Right.
stunt
They do the
deals.
stunting and even when they do the choreography, the girls are not going to have pom poms with them doing choreography, or they're going to be a group of guys not having pom poms. That's the only thing that I didn't like is it kind of makes them stand out and not in the right way. It almost makes them make them look off. And I'm like, it's already a big deal and something different. I wish they would just, if you're going to do something like that, if we're going to have pom poms, everybody needs to have a pom. Point blank, period. But I just love that they are doing that, though, that they're giving these male cheerleaders a chance. And it's really more for male dancers because if you look at professional sports, whether it's NBA or NFL, those are actual dancers. They're really not necessarily cheerleaders. It's
Yeah,
kind of it's a difference. It's really more male dancers, and then also the LA Rams, which in LA I'm not surprised that they would have amazing dancers coming to try out for that. It's like the dance capital. So shout out to them for trying to conquer a very male dominated and at times homophobic and not wanting anything I guess considered to be feminine. I don't know how dancing became that, but okay.
yeah. I mean, hey, Janet Jackson can't make a new video every week, so these male dancers got to do something with their lives.
Well,
So I'm
it's you
okay.
know what it is too. It's like when you're a dancer, like you have a lot of free time on your hands because you are doing, especially in LA, you're doing a lot of auditions. So
Yep.
it's probably nice to have something that's like a little bit steady, not getting paid a lot of money, but at least lets you get seen, something you can put on your resume.
Yeah, I remember when they first announced it. Somebody had put on the internet. I'm in these groups with all these comedians, and somebody was outraged, and then somebody had put, "It's okay, man. They'll still be making more money than the women." And I was like,
Facts, because the women
that's
don't
not,
make anything.
yeah. It was,
And they were,
like, it was
and
so-
everyone's always saying that they need to start a union because it's really that bad. I mean,
yeah,
they
yeah.
make pennies.
Yeah, it was something like it was like, it's okay. The guys will still make $3 an hour or something instead of $2 like the women, because it's
Like the
men
women
are
do.
supposed to. Yeah, I forget what it was.
And then you have
I
to keep
ruined.
your appearance up too, and like I don't know, it's not easy to do it. That's for sure.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get these cheeseburgers. So
So yeah, that's my concrete moment. I'm really excited for those men that have an opportunity to, just like I would want a woman to have an opportunity to be on the field. I'm glad that they have one too, and
yeah,
that is a perfect example of conquering a cave.
there it is. And I forgot all about that. I guess I haven't been looking at cheerleaders this year. I should. I haven't been,
Actually, focused
I
on the
haven't
game,
really-
huh?
No, actually, I just I was working on some business stuff on Sunday, and I literally just turned on NFL Red Zone. So
Oh yeah, that's nice.
everything I
It's
saw,
nice to sometimes
everything,
do that.
yeah, everything I saw was through NFL Red Zone, and so that's what I did, and all I saw was people trying to score or scoring, and didn't really pay attention to anything else that was going on.
Fair enough. Well, we've come towards the end of our segment, and this is one of my favorite parts. It's the WTF moment of the week.
Cool. Well, I guess I do have cool music, so ta-da-da. Yeah. Peep my jingle. What the fuck moment? The what the fuck moment of the week goes to five teams. Five teams. I'm looking at you, Seattle Seahawks. I'm looking at you, New York Giants, Houston, Raiders, and lastly, the Steelers. Y'all can't win nothing yet. Steelers, you supposed to win that division. Nothing. Y'all ain't got no win yet. Raiders, Gruden's back. Y'all supposed to be, the black magic is back. We got Gruden. Nothing. Houston, y'all supposed to be right there against Jacksonville and Indy for that division. Y'all got all y'all peoples back. Nothing. Giants, y'all got y'all new toy Saquon Barkley and can't do nothing with him. Seahawks, y'all supposed to be right there with the Rams for that division and nobody. You guys are embarrassing. It's embarrassing. You're losers. All of you are losers. I personally love that the Steelers don't have their shit together, but that's, for personal reasons. But Seahawks,
Has
I
nothing
could care.
to do with your brother.
Yeah, yeah. Seahawks, I could really care less. I'm kind of tickled by y'all losing because since they won the Super Bowl, the Seahawks have the shittiest fans. Prior to their Super Bowl victory, it was cool to go to Seattle and watch a game. Everybody was nice and enjoying themselves. And then when they won the Super Bowl, they fans just turned to shit, snot, stubborn, or snooty people. And the Seahawks.
Well, you have to think about where they're at. They're in Seattle, so
yeah. Y'all used to be cool people.
A lot of them have money.
Yeah, they used to be cool people. But now screw them. Giants, you guys are embarrassing. Houston, y'all just going to lose the battle at Texas and let the Cowboys take back over. Y'all was supposed to give them a run. Raiders, well, we know y'all moving to Vegas, and odds are, I actually picked y'all to have a bad season, but still, don't talk shit with your shiny new coach back and then not do nothing. It's embarrassing. It's sad. So those are my what the fuck moments, and a couple of y'all have cost me in my picks. And I don't really gamble very much, but you guys, I hate you all. It's plain and simple.
All right, fair enough. Well, that was your what the fuck moment of the week, and I thought it was relevant. Because I'm pretty sure their fans are saying, what the fuck? So,
what the fuck?
Kudos to you for just relaying what they're all feeling.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I am definitely excited for this upcoming week of football. Like I said, season starts on Thursday, so look out for our Thursday pick, and then you will see our Sunday picks posted on our Instagram. So definitely, follow us online so you can kind of keep track of what we're doing. But tune in Thursday mornings. That is when we are going to have a new episode go live every single morning. But that's our show for the week. I would definitely want to thank everybody for tuning in. I'm your host, Anastasia.
And I'm your co-host, Pepper, the misunderstood evil genius, everybody's favorite crazy cousin, the most powerful comedian on the planet in the universe.
And of course, this is The Cave.
You have entered The Cave with Anastasia and the misunderstood evil genius.